Hello there, and welcome to this week's edition of Creative Critique. Now, this week I have not been to see a film. Oh my god, that's correct. But what I have decided to review is this year's Oscars. Winners and nominations and winners, and I'll be going through pretty much the major categories. I will be going through, and I'm just going to list them off right from the start. So you know what I'm going to be doing. I'll be obviously doing leading actor, leading actress, supporting actor, supporting actress, picture, director, cinematography, visual effects, documentary, film editing, cinematography, animated feature, and of course both writing original screenplay and adapted screenplay. So that is what I'm going to be doing in this week's edition. Oscars. Now, I'm not going to go into all the who should have been nominated and oh my god, why wasn't that nominated, and because I've been through that already myself. So all I'm going to be doing in this edition is going through each category of the ones that are nominated, who has won, do I think they deserve to win, do I think others were deserving, or was it just yeah, could have been one of any of them. So that is how I'm going to play it out here. I'm not going to be doing the whole oh my god they should have been nominated or why weren't they nominated aspect of the Oscars. So I'm going to start with a acting category first, and I will start with Best Supporting Actress. Now, I will obviously stay from the start for every category if I have not seen a performance or a particular film of which a nominated person has been nominated. So, in respect to the Best Supporting Actress category, the nominees, of course, were Jennifer Jason Leigh for The Hateful Eight, Rooney Mara for Carol, Rachel McAdams for Spotlight, Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs, and Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. I have not seen The Danish Girl for Vikander, and I have not seen Carol for Rooney Mara. So I'm a little bit of a disadvantage here, but I will comment upon the three. That's the winner, of course, was Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl, so it's very hard for me to say, oh, I thought they should have won another person, because I have not seen her performance. From what I understand, she's extremely good in her film, from all the reviews I've read of her performance, but apparently she should have been nominated in the actual Best Actress category. So that's an interesting one, the fact she pops up in the supporting actress when she's apparently more deemed by critics out there to be actually a leading actress. I will comment upon the fact that I thought Kate Winslet was wonderful in Steve Jobs, and I had no problem with her winning whatsoever. She obviously won the Best Supporting Actress at the BAFTAs. So I thought her performance was fabulous, Kate Winslet. She's deserved to be nominated, and the likes of Jennifer Jason Leigh, again, an absolutely fabulous performance, and Rachel McAdams in Spotlight, one of the most understated performances you have ever seen, yet is integral to that story or that film. So some great work going on with the actors that I did see, and I can't see any problem with any of them being nominated. The ones I have seen, like I say, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Rooney Mara, or Kate Winslet. Probably the three, my favourite was Kate Winslet, because I thought she lost herself more in the performance, and I quite enjoyed her just slipping into that role wonderfully. So, Alicia Vikander was the winner. At some point I will view her film, but it's hard for me to comment upon other than that, really. So, sorry, I'm just getting off to a terrible start. I will slip into something completely different now and go for Best Animated Feature Film. And once again, it's not been a good year for me seeing... To be fair, here in Britain, there's a couple of them that, as far as I'm aware, have not been released here yet. In fact, one of them has been released this week. So up for Best Animated Feature Film were Boy in the World, not seen, don't think it's even been released here. Apologies if it has. Anomalisa is just about to be released here. When Marnie Was There, I have heard of it, but I think it has been released here, to be fair, but I've not seen it. Shaun the Sheep movie, I have seen that. And Inside Out. Inside Out, of course, was the winner. I've seen Inside Out, and Inside Out thoroughly deserved, even without me seeing the other films. And the reason why I say that is because I felt Inside Out should have been nominated for Best Film. Absolutely, certainly, for certain. So, in fact, it had to win Best Animated Feature Film, because although I did love Shaun the Sheep, it was within its own boundaries, whereas something like Inside Out was exploring things that we've not seen, never mind in an animated film, just in a feature film itself. In how children's minds work, and yes, that is all how human beings work in a sense as well. Fabulous film, Inside Out, deserved to win the Best Animated Feature Film, and I can say that without seeing, like I say, three other films, which I apologise. So let's go on to something else. I will go to one I've actually seen all the films for. So there we go, it's the first one. So film editing. Now, up for film editing were The Big Short, Mad Max Fury Road, The Spotlight, Star Wars The Force Awakens, and The Revenant. Now, I will say, looking at the categories here, I think my favourite editing, for the ones that are most prominent and obvious, are Mad Max Fury Road and The Revenant. Mad Max Fury Road's won. Once again, I could have flipped a coin and gone, one of these two films should have won. I thought The Big Shorts was quite good. It's not as prominent in something like Star Wars and Spotlight, but I felt Mad Max and The Revenant were a deserved winner of each in that category. So I have no problems whatsoever with Mad Max Fury Road winning that, because, my God, it was fabulous editing. The speed of some of the shots that's going on and different scenes, it was wonderful. And something like The Revenant, as we've all come to learn now from Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu's direction and the way he works, he does love to do a long shot. And a long shot that looks like it's not been edited, but it's been masterfully edited so that you do not notice it. So Revenant was probably a little bit unlucky there, but I have no qualms at all with Mad Max Fury Road winning that category. So I will go into another, I'll go into one of the writing awards, and I'll go into Best Adapted Screenplay. And the nominees were The Big Short, Carol, The Martian, Room, and Brooklyn. And I will say once again, I have not seen Carol or Brooklyn, unfortunately, as I mentioned previously with Carol, but obviously I've seen The Big Short and The Martian and Room. Obviously, I have no knowledge of the source material, so all I'm going to do is how well that sort of screenplay works on screen. In regards to something like, I think, I absolutely loved Room. And I loved The Martian, and I thought The Big Short was really, really good as well. The Big Short won. I think possibly it won more because of the subject matter regarding its current themes of the banking crisis, and it was a very relevant film story. So I think I can see why that has probably won. I don't have a particular problem with it in it, but I thought the stories told, particularly in Room and also in The Martian, were fabulously done and fabulously written for the screen. Considering that a lot of those time, those films, you are looking at one character or two characters, and you are building a world and film around them. So I think very unlucky The Martian and Room to lose out to The Big Short, but it's not saying I don't think it's a greatly written film. The Big Short is a greatly written film with some great dialogue intertwined between characters. So some great stuff in there. Bit unlucky Martian and Room, but Big Short, yeah, it deserved to be nominated definitely. Maybe a little bit lucky to get the although it did win the best BAFTA adapted screenplay as well. So it's sweeping the board. So it's certainly got that appeal. But as a film and the way it was written, I preferred Room and The Martian. Well, that's to say, I did really enjoy The Big Short. I'm really sort of backing myself out of something here. So let's go into the best music and the original score. And here we have Bridge of Spies, The Hateful Eight, Sicario, Star Wars The Force Awakens, and Carol. Once again, I have not seen Carol. It seems to be a recurring theme here. Carol and Brooklyn, probably the films, and the Danish Girl, the films I have not seen this year that have been prominent in the awards. But I thought, yeah, great score for Bridge of Spies, great score for Sicario, obviously great score for Star Wars The Force Awakens, but the winner, of course, was Ennio Morricone for The Hateful Eight, and you have just got no doubt about how good that score is, because it is everything you want from a Western score. It encapsulates the old feel of those Westerns, and Ennio Morricone is no better man than to do that. It's a fabulous score, he's a fabulous winner, and he deserved a winner. And I don't think he's won an Oscar before, if to my mind that is correct. And that is astonishing, isn't it, for a man who has such a history in cinema, film music writing. And that is astonishing. So, I don't like to give out awards just because they've not won one before. Yes, it's sort of but I think the actual score in question for The Hateful Eight is fantastic and a deserved winner of the award. So, yeah, deserved. Fully deserved. So let's go on to, what should we go to? Cinematography, shall we do? And then we'll do another acting one. So cinematography, it was Carol, not seen, The Hateful Eight, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, and Sicario. Now this is a very, very tough category. I mean, this was a very tough category. Obviously me not seeing Carol, but The Hateful Eight, Mad Max, Revenant, and Sicario. When I saw these films, every single one of them, I went, fantastic cinematography. It just beautifully used. It is beautifully used camera work and beautifully used landscapes, particularly obviously for the lights of The Revenant and The Hateful Eight. But stuff like the Mad Max Fury Road and Sicario are in certain sections. Obviously, Sicario's a bit more of a brooding film, but then it's very actiony, so it's very good with that sort of that aspect of cinematography. And the same goes for the Mad Max Fury Road, although it does have those sort of landscapes like it does in The Revenant and The Hateful Eight. It's slam, bang, 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 and is using the look of things fabulously well. The winner out of those categories was The Revenant, and you can't really argue. It's almost a flip of a coin, because of the ones nominated, I could say I did like Sicario though. I really did like Sicario actually. It's very been unlucky regarding this probably. Mad Max as well, very good, and Hateful Eight, very good. But Revenant was something. It was something extra, and for all of The Revenant was a technically brilliant film. When I say technically, obviously I mean all those sort of categories: editing and cinematography and things like that. And I can see exactly why it's won the award for cinematography, The Revenant. So there we go. Yes, and that was cinematography. Best Oscar for cinematography. I said that enough now, haven't I? So I will now go to best actor in a best actor in a supporting role. And of course, we have Christian Bale for The Big Short. We have Tom Hardy for The Revenant. We have Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight. We have Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies, and we have Sylvester Stallone for Creed. Now, yes, this is The Revenant. This is a category I've seen every single nominee, and I think I'm going to say it was the toughest, absolute toughest category to call, because other than that, the one I'll get out of the way straight away is Tom Hardy. Because of the five, I thought Tom Hardy was not the least, probably the least impressive, and the reason why, because it felt like another Tom Hardy performance. That's not to say like it's not a decent performance, but I felt I have seen this before. Whereas with the other categories, particularly in the likes of Sylvester Stallone in Creed, my word, where did that come from? Because, yes, okay, we all know originally that he was a decent actor in those early films of his career, particularly The Rocket, and that is probably why he's managed to build such a character and an emotional role in this film. He's superb in this film, and a lot of people were edging on him winning this. By me saying that, you obviously know now he has not won. The winner, of course, was Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies in a performance that can only be described as extremely subtle. And what is it? It's all in what he doesn't say. It is all in the performance, and that is why I think he's took it home a bit more. Whereas something in, say, for example, Christian Bale's performance in The Big Short and in Mark Ruffalo's performance in Spotlight, both are very much built in how their character is a bit more physical, particularly in Christian Bale's as well, actually. They're extremely, extremely good performances in all the films, Christian Bale and Mark Ruffalo. Ruffalo's a bit more subtle, but then he has sort of burst of energy. Bridge of Spies is a complete levelled out performance by Mark Rylance, and it's superb. Sylvester Stallone, though, I must say, is extremely unlucky, because I loved him in Creed. I absolutely loved him. I have no problems in saying that. So, once again, I can say he's a deserved winner, but I was thinking a couple in this category could have been a deserved winner, and I would have possibly gone between Rylance and Stallone. But obviously, Rylance won. There we go. Best Supporting Actor, Oscar winner. So I will now go into Best Actress, I will do actually. Where are we? Best Actress. And, sorry. And now this is a personal favourite of mine, regarding the winner. I'll go through the categories again. The nominations. The nominations were Cate Blanchett for Carol, Brie Larson for Room, Jennifer Lawrence for Joy, Charlotte Rampling for 45 Years, Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn. And I will say that I have not seen Brooklyn, of course, I've not seen 45 Years, I've not seen Joy, and I've not seen Carol, which is a huge problem here in this category. So the only one I have seen was the winner, which was Brie Larson in Room, and I flipping loved her performance in Room. I was delighted that she won Best Actress for Room. Obviously, it's extremely hard for me to compare and say if she shouldn't, but I think her performance alone, for me seeing that film, was a deserving winner. It's very hard for me to say against the other category, so I can't comment upon anyone else, but I thought Brie Larson was a deserving winner in the Best Actress category. I will go into documentary, and the reason why I go into documentary because I was want to bring up, I've seen one, unfortunately, of the five, and the reason why, and it's the winner, it is Amy, the Amy Winehouse documentary by Asif Kapadia. and it's a superb film that tells a story of somebody who I had no interest in musically whatsoever before seeing this film. But it's brought me to her music, and I get some of her lyrics, and I can see where she's coming from in her story, in her life story now. And a film that does that to you is deserving of, first of all, nominations and awards. And I thought Amy was a fabulous, fabulous documentary film. So a deserved winner. Obviously, I can't come into the parts of Cartel Land, Look of Silence, What's Happened, Miss Simone, or Winter on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom. Although two of them are on my to-watch list on Netflix. I will go into, what shall I go into next? So that was obviously Amy for Best Documentary. I will go into Best, I suppose we better do Best Writing, and they go into Bridge of Spies, Ex Machina, Inside Out, and Spotlight, and Straight Outta Compton. I've seen all these films, and indeed I have seen all of these films, and in respect to Straight Outta Compton, the writing of that film was an extremely visceral experience, so it's fabulously brought to the subjects of that film brought to life. In terms of, obviously, like I say, Ex Machina, there's sort of interesting ideas going on in discussions throughout the film, so that's extremely well portrayed and presented to you in their screenplay. In terms of something like Inside Out, as I previously mentioned, I have said the fact that it's touching on subjects possibly that have not been extremely well discussed on film before. So regarding how children and human beings work and growing and evolving and things like that. So it's fabulously story told in Inside Out. In regards to Bridge of Spies, I just think that's an absolute fabulously witty and endearing script from the Coen brothers, who wrote for that Spielberg film Bridge of Spies, and you can see their touches of wry humour but still dark themes in there, and it's a fabulous film to watch and listen to just from the script. And in terms of Spotlight, I've never seen a film. What about Spotlight is there to talk about? Because it gives you all the facts and then says, yeah, that's what it is. And that is extremely well presented to you by the writers on that subject matter. So the winner was Spotlight, and I can see exactly why it's won. Do I think it was the best written script? I'm not sure. I honestly don't think it was. I still think it's a very, very good script and a very good film, certainly. But I was absolutely thoroughly impressed by a lot of the other films and touching on different subject matters and films you would not expect to sort of even get nominations. They did get the nominations. Unfortunately, one of them didn't win. Spotlight, very, very good. When I say the absolutely deserved winner, I'm on the edge. Actually, I'm on the edge of whether it was definitely the best film in terms of writing. But that was the best writing. So I'll go on to now the best visual effects, which is an interesting one. The nominees were Ex Machina, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Star Wars The Force Awakens, and the winner was Ex Machina, which is interesting, isn't it? Because I think it's thoroughly deserved. It is absolutely thoroughly deserved. Some fabulous stuff in Mad Max Fury Road. There is some truly fabulous effects in that film. And The Martian, and the way The Revenant uses its subtle yet effective effects, because you won't even know they're happening, probably. And obviously Star Wars The Force Awakens as well. But I think Ex Machina was an absolutely deserved winner in the visual effects. Because it was giving you something and making you believe in a character that you had to believe the effects in that film to believe that character of Alicia Vikander. That in itself, if it's selling a character to you, you have won, isn't it? So there we go. Best visual effects winner was Ex Machina. Let's go on to the best actor. I think we all know Leonardo DiCaprio won for The Revenant. Who didn't hear about that? Bryan Cranston was nominated for Trumbo, Matt Damon for The Martian, Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs, and Eddie Redmayne for The Danish Girl was also nominated. Didn't see Trumbo, didn't see Danish Girl for Redmayne or Cranston. Damon was very good. I didn't think he was a Best Actor winner. It was a worthy nomination, but it was pretty between DiCaprio and Fassbender for me, and I thought Fassbender was extremely well in presenting a character who was extremely prickly in Steve Jobs, and presenting it in a way that appealed still to an audience. So fabulous work by Fassbender, and of course fabulous work by Mr. DiCaprio. Congratulations. You finally got your Oscar. You can now retire from acting. But anyway, yeah, deserved winner for DiCaprio for The Revenant. Let's go into is it only picture? Is it only picture and directing left? It is. So let's go directing, and the director nominees were Adam McKay for The Big Short, George Miller for Mad Max Fury Road, Alejandro González Iñárritu for The Revenant, Lenny Abrahamson for Room, and Tom McCarthy for Spotlight. All of them have done fantastic work in different ways in their films. Now, this is a high harm because you're saying this is the person who's done the best at their. I know it says the best at the job; they're all doing the best at their job. But in terms of this is bringing a whole film together and going, you have made effectively the best film. You have directed the best, and I thought Lenny Abrahamson was fabulous in Room. Absolutely fantastic. George Miller brought you things you had not seen on screen for absolute ages in terms of Mad Max Fury Road. And Alejandro, yeah, whatever you think of Alejandro González, he brings together technical aspects of films brilliantly. Whether every single one of them knits into perfect line, I'm not sure. He won. I'm not so sure. I thought Lenny Abrahamson's Room was brilliant, and I thought George Miller was very good for Mad Max Fury Road as well. Interesting one for debate there. I probably wouldn't have gone with Iñárritu. I probably would have gone with Abrahamson for Room, but Room is one of my favourite films of the last year, possibly. So let's go into Best Film. Now, there was obviously Best Picture, if you want to call it that, and there's a few more nominees. So the nominees were The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, and Room, and Spotlight, which was the eventual winner. And it was a surprise, wasn't it? It was a surprise because everybody thought The Revenant was going to win, and I thought it was as well. And I thought it was going to win. I didn't think The Revenant deserved to win. I thought other films covered better subjects better and sold themselves as actual films to be rather than a collection of brilliant aspects of technical things, which is what like I say, The Revenant is The Revenant is a technically brilliant film, but that's what it is. It's a technically brilliant film. So I didn't believe in it as a whole of a film. I thought there was brilliant aspects to the whole thing, but I didn't think it would be a deserved win, even though the bookies backed it. But it didn't win. A Spotlight won, which is encouraging, because it's a film that it was sobering yet effective, not because of the subject matter, but because of the way of the story of the subject matter was told. I don't know if you can put it any better than that regarding Spotlight, because I felt Spotlight extremely well. To say you enjoyed a film about a newspaper's revelations regarding child paedophilia and child abuse, it sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? But it's the fact that you can say I enjoyed that film in a sense of that was really, really well told story. That was a really, really well told story. It's what Spotlight brought to you. You can't argue. It deserved to be up there, being one of the best films of the year, certainly. I loved Room again. I loved The Martian, and I really did love Bridge of Spies, and I did really enjoy Big Shot and Mad Max Fury Road as well. It's very hard. It's very hard to always pick the best one and satisfy everybody. They did a decent enough job. I think it was right not to have The Revenant win. Whether Spotlight was the absolute deserving winner, once again, it's for debate. I'm in and out. It could have been one of many. Of course it was. But there we go. That's my Oscar Craig's. Yeah, that was my Oscars 2016 Craig's critique. I do hope you've enjoyed all my babbling about nothing, effectively. Making non-decisions in terms of winners and losers. I do genuinely hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do subscribe to me, and I do hope to see you again sometime soon. I thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.